All right. All right. Check, check. What's going on? Let's turn off these watches for now. Here they come. Here they come. Severe thunderstorm warning all the way up there near Nebraska City as well. You tagged me in 2 videos? Hold up. Oh, crap. Where's my phone? I'm nervous too, Casey. No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. We'll go over that in a second. Quarter size hail, $half size hail, quarter size hail, 60 mile per hour winds, tiny hail. Nothing much going on yet. Moderate for tomorrow, maybe a small one, yeah. Let's look at it. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Okay. Lots of shear here. All right, we got a chaser out there. Lots of lightning down here to the south near Dallas-Fort Worth. Lots of lightning in this one too. Hail core there. Decent hail core down there to the south. OKC is looking like we could get some decent storms tonight. Let me grab my phone real quick. Hold up, guys. Hold up, chat. Chat, where'd I put my phone? Chat, if you know where I put my phone, let me know. One second, chat. Chat, I found it. I found it. I haven't had my phone like all night. I just realized that. What is going on with me? Sheesh. Mesomat's live. Mesomat's live, guys. All right, we're getting into it. Dalton, hey Connor, do you think there will be clearing before the storms reach Columbus, Ohio tomorrow to strengthen them. Hard to tell. There's an opportunity for it. There is an opportunity for it. Hard to tell. I would need to go over. Let me go check Pivotal Weather real quick. Let me check what the latest euro is looking like out there. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. One second, guys. I don't know. You got a lot of moisture moving overhead before that squall line moves through. It's not look. It's looking like, what's the HRRR's? Ooh, HRRR00Z's out. Let's take a look at what that sees. A lot of moisture overhead of Ohio. There's going to be a little bit of a clearing, and it's going to be in the afternoon time, so you could get some reheating and drying up before that squall line for sure. Yeah. Appreciate the follow, Jiggle. What about Ark City, Kansas tonight? I'm right on the Oklahoma border. Ark City. Let's see if we can find it. I don't believe you. Did you spell that right? Arkansas City? Is that what it is? Oh. I thought you were actually saying Ark City. Yeah, I mean, we could get some severe weather through there. It looks like the worst is going to be to your south, but there's already some okay-looking cells moving up here to the northeast towards your area. So have weather alerts on, but I will be covering this for a little bit here. We've gotten more severe thunderstorm warnings. Quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds out there in southwestern Oklahoma out near Elk City. This one looks pretty beastly, even though we're only seeing quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour gusts. This one's heading right towards... We got some decent storms heading towards the DFW area. Still with some more cells forming out here down to the south. Interesting that this was a severe thunderstorm warning on that. Let's look at the rotation here. Let's look at the velocity. Let's look at the shear. Let's look at the hail. A little bit of hail in here. Right there. We've got our chasers out here, guys.
It's 30. It was around 40 if I recall.
We've got our chasers out here.
50 due east. Like that is not an issue at all. It's when they're moving at 65.
Okay, so they're watching this. They're watching this. We're starting to see things fire up here. What do you think about Fort Worth? What I'm thinking is you have a bunch of strong, large hail producing thunderstorms to your southwest. So let's pay attention to those. All right, for now, let's go back up to MRMS, so we can see you see all these storms starting to pop up now. You're getting into later into the evening. Upper atmosphere is cooling. That's causing some instability down on the surface. That those parcels are allowed to lift now up into the atmosphere and condense. DJ, if I stream them for too long on here, I'm going to get my stream taken down. If I hold this up for too long, they'll take my stream down. There's nothing going on. They're just driving on the roads. They're just driving on the roads. If they see a tornado on the ground, I'll keep it up a little bit longer. But I always check in on them. Yeah. I didn't realize that at first in one stream. I was watching them for too long, and I got all these warnings to take it down and everything. I was like, from TikTok specifically. I think Radar Omega has like a... They're not... Yeah. They want you like to pay to be able to see that. And if I pay to be able to see it, and they don't want to stream it for free. This is Radar Omega. This region right here has a chance to see baseball or bigger size hail. This does include Dallas-Fort Worth, pretty much all of the metro area, all the way down south towards Claiborne and all the way down to Brownwood. Oklahoma City, all the way up to Ponca City, down to Norman, out here to the southwest towards Lawton. You have a chance to see very large 2-3 inch hail or bigger. We'll see. Tulsa has actually gotten taken out of that. But what updates did we actually get recently? Okay. Tulsa is very close to this hatch wind, meaning we could see some thunderstorms producing, 70, 80 mile per hour gusts through this region. So Tulsa could have some very strong, probably QLCS type winds moving through. Let's see what we got updated on our tornado here. Still 5% in Tulsa and Oklahoma City. They didn't go hatched, which is good. But that doesn't mean that it's not possible to see EF2 pluses, but probably a little less likely. What's this looking like up here winter weather-wise? Mixing. See Shakopee through Minneapolis, through the Twin Cities. A little icy. Up to the north here, St. Cloud, that's pretty good snow probably. Northern Wisconsin. Back here, probably some pretty good snow for you guys up here as well too. This is mostly mixing. All right. Let's see how this progresses. They're trying to get right in front of this thing. They think this thing may produce.
Finally execute the chase.
So, look at that lightning. Oh, stopped. There it is. Is it bad that I can see the lightning from the OKC Metro? Wow. All the way out here, yeah. Oh, wait, we're up here, sorry. Oh, that's even farther out. Well, you know what? You guys are... that's the thing about OKC. Or Oklahoma. It's so flat out here. You guys can see miles. Tens of miles. Should I be worried about a tornado in Fort Worth? You have 1, you have 0 possible. Really, the issue down here looks to be some strong wind and big hail potential. There's not a huge tornado threat down here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Not impossible, but not a very, very big threat for it. Not a high chance of it. Amanda. Just got done shoveling my driveway. Amanda, you live in Tampa. What's going on? What's going on, Mandy? Tornado threat in West Tennessee. There will be a tornado threat in West Tennessee tomorrow into the evening hours. We can take a look at the HRRR really quick. Here we go. We've got the 00Z out. My favorite run. My favorite run. Look at these thunderstorms moving into the... Look at this. Look at these thunderstorms moving in down here. Bradenton, Tampa, St. Petersburg. Some spicy weather moving in the overnight tonight. Some spiciness. Ooh. Could get a little severe. Down here in Florida. Look at this shear, guys. This is Florida's an absolute joke. You've got these storms moving to the north, and then watch. And then suddenly they're like, just kidding. And they're moving like this, and then they go down. And then this is coming in. It's hilarious how peninsulas work. Look at this. And then, we're going off to the east. Just look at how these storms move. Absolutely hilarious. This is such ridiculous shear. It's hilarious. But strong thunderstorms. That's so funny. That just doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen up here in that's just a Florida thing. So if you cut off Florida, that doesn't happen up here. That just happens in Florida. Our weather up here moves like this, or like this, or like this. And the weather down in Florida, on the same day, you'll have storms moving like this, and like this. It's hilarious. Super bipolar with wind direction, storm direction. Yeah, Florida should be its own country. It's so crazy how the weather works down there. All right. Huntersville, Alabama tomorrow night. Yeah, so let's look at our 00Z, guys. This is important. And we're going to look at our SIGTOR parameters here as well. Still just severe thunderstorm warnings. We're watching what's happening tonight because we could get some decent spin ups. You can actually see. So we have a low pressure system off here to the north. But look at this. Look at this one spinning out down here. Look at this thing. You see that? You see this rotation right here? And this is what's going to kind of try to eject our trough and give us some good tornado parameters through this region here. As this ejects and we get those strong winds picking up, pulling moisture off the Gulf. This is the 00Z run. Here we go. Here's when things start to get dicey. Right here. Right here tomorrow. Right there. 1 p.m. And then it gets much worse as we get into around 6, 7 p.m. This is when things get super dicey. This is when we can see our strong ones. Let's move this forward a little bit and see how this. And then you start to see this thing connects all the way down from up through, like, you know. I mean, that's a big QLCS line capable of producing some pretty strong hail. I got to zoom out on here for you guys. Sorry. Some pretty strong hail and some pretty strong winds outside of the nadir potential. Tuscaloosa. I mean, so let's take a look at our latest. What did we get? Did we get anything switched out for tomorrow? We've still got that big. Here we go. Let me brighten this up for you guys for a second. We did get another severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like out here in western Oklahoma. Let me brighten this up for you. All right. Enhanced risk. Pretty large enhanced risk all the way up to western Ohio. But let's break this down a little bit. Tornado. Where you see this hatch, they're thinking some SIG tours are possible. Significant tornadoes, EF2 plus right through that region. Again, southern Indiana, southern Illinois, western Kentucky, western Tennessee, southeastern Missouri, eastern Arkansas, northern Mississippi, northwestern Alabama, central Tennessee as well, potentially. Possible to get really some decent tornadoes out here as well, though. That's our tornado threat tomorrow. Wind threat is looking wild. Large wind threat through here. They actually moved the hatch, though. They moved the hatch threat out here for the most intense wind. Can you guys see that? Through that region right there. I know that drawing looks suspicious, but that's just outlining the hatched region for wind. Okay? Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. So that's interesting. And then let's go over to hail real quick. Eyes. Yeah. Here's our hail. Here's where we could get very, very large hail. If you're in this area in chat, say me. If you're in this area where grapefruits of ice are going to be falling from the sky, say me. If you're in this area where watermelon size ice is going to be falling from the sky, say me. Ooh. Hope you guys got strong roofs and a garage. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Although very large hail is possible in this region, most of you will not see hail. Most of you won't see hail. But yeah, there is the possibility for that, what we call gorilla hail, which is like 4-inch diameter. Big. They call it grapefruit size hail. It's not going to be widespread. It's going to be isolated if it happens. Let's hope it doesn't, but every now and then we do get gorilla hail with these type of systems. If we get a moderate risk, yeah, someone said, where do we think the moderate risk is going to go tomorrow? If we get a moderate risk, it is likely going to be right there. This area especially, well, yeah, this area especially to me is an area to watch. Right there. Southeastern Missouri, when things start firing up. I also think, though, central to southern Indiana, there's been some interesting looks there as well. So we'll have to watch that. But the dew point's a little lower up there. This region here as well. I was thinking you'd draw an avocado shape. What do we got going on? More severe thunderstorm warnings. 50-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail.
Got a feeling about that one.
He's got a feeling about that one.
Again, guys,
Oh, what's he saying? All right. Okay. Okay. Nothing going on out there right now, which is good. We like that. We like that. Just some severe thunderstorms right now. Golf ball size hail. That's an issue a little bit. South of Dallas, Fort Worth. Elk City. Severe thunderstorm about to roll through. I'm in the area that you circled. Time frame? Yeah, tomorrow night. If you want to know a little bit better of a time frame, here you go. Let's go to our 00Z. All right. This is your event here. So things start really firing up. Really, it's different for everyone because you've got things getting a little sketchy up there in Indiana around possibly as early as 2 p.m. Some strong storms moving in. This looks to be the main event right here, though. Right here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So literally just, let's call it 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow to 2 a.m. on Monday. Because I don't want to give you, it depends on where everyone is. But it's tomorrow evening into the late hours of tomorrow night and potentially pushing into the morning. But really, if you're in this area that I circled, it looks to be a 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. type of event. You have to give or take a couple hours though, because these storms slow up and speed up and slow down. But it's an evening and nighttime event. You should be looking pretty. I mean, you're gonna have potentially some showers, some thunderstorms earlier in the morning and afternoon. We've got a lot of things that are gonna be moving through, but the severe stuff isn't supposed to be. Is not projected to be till later in the day. We're not gonna have really crazy parameters till then. MK, yes. Yes, shout out MK joining the climate crew. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, dude. Over on the tube. How's Tuscaloosa looking? Tuscaloosa, Alabama. With your timing, look. Here's the thing, guys. Well, here's your timing. Oof, man, that is a mean-looking QLCS right there. This is a Duratio-looking QLCS right here. This timing looks to be very early in the morning. Maybe we'll call it 6 to 8 a.m. This stuff begins to move through on Monday. So this timing has changed. Because now we're talking Atlanta closer to 11 a.m. Okay, this has slowed down a little bit. That could be a mean squall line. Wind, hail, and possibly, I don't expect massive wedge tornadoes down here, but maybe a tornado or two that does, decent strength, but nothing too crazy down there at that time. Sarah Confused, Alan, Megan, what's going on? Finally, you're welcome. Sorry. Would you be concerned if you lived in downtown Fort Worth? No, I wouldn't be overly concerned tonight because we're not expecting any big tornadoes down there. It's not impossible, but it's pretty low likelihood. We're just watching out for some large hail and some gusty conditions down there. Some very gusty conditions. Guys, looking at this latest HRRR, there's so much moisture out ahead of this main event, which is here, if these areas that get a ton of precipitation before this squall line begins to move through and before this kind of discrete cell setup begins to move through, you guys are going to have a much more stable atmosphere, and you're not going to see a severe weather. There's just so much moisture out ahead of this thing, and you're going to get rain cooled air out ahead of this. You're going to lose that vertical forcing, and a lot of people may cause us the downtrend. I don't know though. It's looking still. It's the squall line itself is looking still pretty strong, especially actually as it gets down there into Alabama. But I really don't like what I'm seeing through southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois, Indiana, and then this area right here too is concerning. Like I said. Jackson, Tennessee. Central Tennessee and West, this region, as you get out here, you're going to maybe experience some gusty conditions. There's a chance probably for 2-inch hail, EF0, EF1. Not overly concerned out here. This is severe. This could be significantly severe. Could be. It's not everyone's going to see severe weather. Let me double check on what's going on out here real quick, guys. Really quick, let's get into here. Let me just double check. Let's take 2 seconds. Some decent velocities in there. Let's take a look at all reflectivity. Strong thunderstorms moving through Duncan and Marlow headed up towards, what was that, Lindsay? Oklahoma, some decent thunderstorms moving through Elk City, Oklahoma right now. Decent looking storm moving just to the northwest of Fort Worth. And then what is going on? What this looks like a hook, but I know it's not. Let's look at the velocity though. Oh wow, I mean, that's not a tornado, but this is looking like a rotating cloud here, guys. So is this. These are high velocities that are shearing across each other right now. Let's take a look at. There's not much. There's some rotation there, but it's not crazy. Still thinking this is going to stay as a hailstorm. This is Radar Omega. Bartlett, Tennessee. Woo. Yeah, Bartlett, Tennessee. You're in that concerning area for tomorrow night. You are. That's how I would draw it. You are in that concerning area for tomorrow night. Definitely have a way to get weather alerts. Where was that latest severe thunderstorm warning, or was it this? No. Oh, was that this right here? Probably was that one. Not much is happening right now, guys. Not much is happening. This is good. We'll keep it this way. I don't know how long that's gonna last. Maybe we won't see this cap broken. Although we are getting some good storms in some of these areas, so that might have been this one actually up here. A little severe thunderstorm warning up there, and that was extended southwestern Iowa. Cincinnati, Ohio for tomorrow, seeing a lot of different things. Cincinnati, Ohio is in a hatched hail and wind warning. So baseball size, maybe even bigger hail is possible. 75 plus mile per hour gusts are possible. EF2 SIGTOR isn't super likely up there. EF1, EF0 is possible. I mean, EF2 plus is possible, but very unlikely. Hail and wind looks to be your biggest threat up in Cincinnati. You can't rule out a tornado, though. But wind and hail looks to be an issue tomorrow night. For the region, not necessarily like Cincinnati's gonna see hail. But it could. It all depends where these cells move, you know? Evansville? Where's Evansville? Where's that? Yeah, Evansville needs to pay attention tomorrow night. Evansville is in that SIG-TOR area. Let's look at our latest SIG-TOR potential. Let's go over to Pivotal Weather, guys. I want to look at this update. I want to look at these updates on the HRRR. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are we actually going to see? What are we actually going to see? Let's go and pass. What are we going to see? Let's look at our SIG-TOR here. Sorry, a little congested. Spring's kind of messing with me right now, guys. I mean, they're still expecting... I don't care about the 12Z. We'll use the HRRR. Let's take a look at this, guys. Let's look at some soundings. Let's look at some soundings. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, this is what I want to show you guys. See that? That's some good SIG-TOR potential in there. Let's look at southeastern Missouri. This is our latest HRRR. 3,100 surface cape. Southeasterly winds. Almost to westerly winds at the 500 millibar. With okay velocity cape as well. Decent helicity and shear at the surface too. Evansville. Possible hazard. Yeah, I mean, there's SIG-TOR potential all up and down this area. So when I say SIG-TOR, guys, EF2 plus. Whoa. Hold up, guys. Hold up. Look at this. 3,200 surface cape, 7.4 fixed SIG-TOR, 8.0 effective layer. Decent looking photograph. This one isn't even capped. Crazy directional shear from the surface up to the 500 millibar. Crazy. I mean, really, it's the southeasterly wind to westerly wind from the surface to 850 millibar. And that's why you have almost 400 storm relative helicity down at the surface. That is crazy rotation at the surface. 35 knot shear at the surface too. Where the heck is this? What city's over there? Forest City, Arkansas? Near Jonesboro. This is just out to the east of Little Rock. That sounding. That's a wild looking sounding. This whole area, look at this. This whole area. And then, I mean, look at this. Look at Western Tennessee. Again, the helicity is rotation at the surface, and there's just crazy helicity. You have easterly wind going over to westerly just from the 1,000 millibar surface up to the 800 millibar level. 42 knot shear at the surface, so about 55, 60 mile per hour shear at the surface. Guys, this latest HRRR update is super sketchy for this area. You know, we see uptrends. We could see a downtrend literally tomorrow morning, but sketchy. 00Z is doing some sketchy stuff. There's no need to panic, and there's no need to panic because this still doesn't look like a massive tornado outbreak. It looks like there's a few strong tornadoes that could come out of this. I don't see this as being like what we saw 2 weeks ago, where we saw 100 confirmed tornadoes, 300 tornado warned storms. You could get a few really strong ones in here, and as long as you have a plan, your weather alert, you're going to be perfectly fine. We can get these. A lot of times nowadays they can 20 to 30 minute heads up on big tornadoes before they even push through an area. And I would just really have your weather alerts on. Be cognitive of what's going on tomorrow evening. Anyone out here in this region. I hope this HRRR downtrends a little bit tomorrow because, and listen, I don't just want to focus on that area. Anywhere where you see, I mean, you know, this is all SIGTOR potential. Now, the concentration in here is obviously in here, but there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of areas to watch out here. There's a lot of areas to watch out here. Really quickly, and I'm going to get back to chat, and I'm going to answer your questions. You know, we can see up here the possibilities up here in Kentucky. There's some discrete cells looking stuff up here in Ohio. There's a lot of areas to watch, and then it's going to push down in southeastern Texas too. But you know, I don't just want to tell people we're just focusing on this area. That area just is jumping off the map a little bit. Wow, look at this timing. Oh my gosh. Tomorrow evening. This whole strip right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sees like 10. The HRRR is predicting like 10 SIGTORs in that region at that time. It's just a forecast, you know, or it's a model run. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be right. It's going to change. It's going to uptrend. It's going to downtrend. But that's impressive. That's all I'm saying. Let's go back to Radar Omega really quickly, and I'm going to answer your guys' questions. I kind of want to call Matt and ask him if he saw that 00Z. Yeah, let's just say starting at 5 p.m. tomorrow. It's probably not until about at least 10 p.m. I don't want people to, like, you know, these things can speed up a little bit and get there earlier than expected sometimes. And I don't want people to think, you know, I don't want to say 10, 11, midnight, and then have people not paying attention at 9 p.m. if there's a dangerous storm going over their head. Caleb, been having fun. I appreciate you guys. What's going on, laddie? DHS, Megan. What does cloud cover look like? I'll show you that 1 second. What is this? Let's call Matt real quick. I don't even know if I have cloud coverage on here, do I?
Dude, do you see this baseball-sized hail in Dublin?
What? Ireland? Sorry if I yelled, guys.
Texas.
Oh. He said,
I know, not Ireland. Not Ireland.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's PDS, but it's got a Torpos on it. If you look at MRMS, it had 3.6-inch hail on it a few minutes ago.
Guys, look at this. Almost 3-inch size hail. Oh my gosh, to the west of Claiborne, Stephenville, Glen Ross, Granbury. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was showing like 75 DBZ a few minutes ago before it transitioned to the radar.
I need to, yeah, I see it now. I need to pull that up more.
There's ridiculous rotation on it.
Wow. Well, oh yeah, that's what I was talking about with my chat. I was saying, let's pull this up again. I was like, the shear looks fantastic here. Here, wait, hold up here.
I just saw a sounding at OKC and it said the shear arrived about 2 hours earlier than expected.
I mean, there's a little pocket there that looks like a road that could be a funnel cloud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right over Dublin. Do you see that?
Are you looking on like a camera?
No, I'm just looking at the velocity right now, right over Dublin. Little pocket. Yeah. Wow. What I was calling you about is the 00Z HRRR. Oh my gosh. Western Kentucky through Western Tennessee up through Southwestern Indiana. Oh my gosh.
You're making me not want to sleep tonight now.
Yeah, dude. That looks in my opinion that was an uptrend.
Oh, I think we know it's gonna go moderate.
We're seeing an explosion of just from the reflectivity. Looking at it, I'm like, this looks more significant, and then you see an explosion of SIGTOR on that as well.
I think too, Connor, and this is just kind of my thoughts on it. I think we might hold that discrete mode just a little bit longer.
Do you think so?
Models have been biased. The model, the NAM and the HER have been really biased to showing that discrete mode. Recently, over the last couple of days, pretty much like longer before it kind of gets into Central Kentucky and then going wide.
Yeah.
We'll have to see, but.
Yeah, because what it looked like originally was that it was going to be a consolidating. It was just going to be a QLCS as it pushed before it made it to Louisville, basically.
Yeah.
And it is looking a little bit more popcorny as it's moving through Western Kentucky.
I'm definitely seeing that. I think we're going to get some baseballs here tomorrow too, and I'm not a fan of that again.
At least we have live coverage on the ground in Ground Zero.
Yeah, there'll definitely be some live coverage tomorrow outside on the ground.
Okay. All right. I'm still.
If you want to say hey to the 600 people in here, say hey.
What? 600? I only have 220. What is going on? Oh my gosh. Oh my. Hey. Okay. Wait. Can I say hi to them? Can I say hi to them real quick?
They can hear you.
Hey, what's going on, chat? Everyone, come hop over to my stream. So, no, I'm just kidding.
Y'all definitely go over and hop on a Connor stream.
No. All right. You guys have fun. I'm gonna cover this.
Sounds good, bub.
See ya. What the heck, guys? What the heck, guys? Why does he have 600 people in his chat? It's okay. I'm not butthurt or anything. I already hopped over. Cookie, appreciate that. Guys, baseball size hail. Baseball size destructive hail heading out to the northeast towards Claiborne. Matt Raid. I'm so pissed. I'm a little hurt. That's okay though. Another severe thunderstorm warning up near Elk City. So let's go over these really quickly. Baseball size destructive hail near Arath, Texas. Comanche, Texas. I can't pronounce that. These normal severe thunderstorm warnings, nothing looking out of the ordinary with the rest of those right now. Some flash flood warnings that are still down there, I think, in southern Louisiana. These are probably expiring soon, but yeah, this was a flash flood emergency just to the north of St. George, just to the East Baton Rouge. That's been going on a while, though. Okay, let's get back out here over to the west, and let's do this. Let's continue to watch these storms. Hi from Matt's Live. What's going on, Tasha? What am I doing wrong? You know what's funny? During winter, I always had more people in my live than him. But now that it's like spring, he always has more people in his live than me. I will say, the severe weather, like tornadoes, hail, this is like his thing. I love covering snowstorms, and I love covering hurricanes. Severe weather, I love covering this too. But he's like a nerd. This is his pocket right here. This is it where he shines. You're just a winter whisper. I know. Clearly. Is North Carolina going to be bad? North Carolina could see okay size hail, 60 plus mile per hour gusts, and an EF1, EF0 type setup. You're going to be in a QLCS. Severe weather is possible. Significant, super destructive severe weather is less likely out there near the coast. But we could see an uptick in that severe weather tomorrow. Where I'm more worried about the East Coast is next Wednesday through Friday, that severe weather outbreak that's literally going to be this whole region again. The severe weather Wednesday through Thursday, especially next week, guys, could be SIGTOR across the map. Could be. We'll see if it changes. we're hoping for a downtrend in that, because that looks like that could make this look like, that can make tomorrow not look impressive, just based on what the early runs we're seeing for next Wednesday and Thursday. So the big difference is, guys, and I showed this to people earlier. What do we got? Another severe thunderstorm warning up here, just to Enid, North Enid, Kremlin, Hunter, severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, we're starting to see a lot. We're starting to see a lot. This is still looking very impressive. I need to look at this. I need to look at this velocity again. There's rotation. There's a funnel cloud wanting to form here. Let me show you guys this real quick for next week. I don't want to get ahead. I just want to quickly give you a glance at some craziness. Because it is craziness. I could show you the future radar and everything, but who cares? Because it's going to change. But let me show you this, just so you have a comparison. Our low-level jet is a big driver of severe weather. What our low-level jet does when it's really pumping through this region. So here's our low-level jet tomorrow. It's, okay. What this does is it pulls moisture off the Gulf and it feeds it up here. Helps with our dew points. Once that moisture gets up here, if we have CAPE, we have strong upward forcing, that moisture gets forced up into the atmosphere, condenses, and releases that latent heat, which fuels these thunderstorms. A strong LLJ, strong low-level jet, is very important for a severe weather outbreak. Now, this isn't a super strong one, but it's strong enough. All the other ingredients, the CAPE is great, the dew points are great. We have the right setup. The LLJ is a little weak, but it's all the other ingredients are there, so it's not going to make much of a difference. We're still expecting some decent severe weather. Okay, so this is our LLJ tomorrow. I want to show you guys Wednesday. You see that? Do you see this thing? 70 knots. 70 knots. 90 mile per hour winds sustained right above our heads on the surface. What's tomorrow? 40 knots. 45 if at the high end. 40. I mean, it's not even in the same realm. This would be big. This would be big, guys. This is a crazy LLJ. And then our mid-level jet's doing pretty impressive stuff too. And then our all right, we got another severe thunderstorm warning I'm going to go back to. And then, and what that does to our dew points too, you've got 72 dew points in western Tennessee. Crazy. Your 63 dew points in Boston. Anyways, let's go see what's going on. We got another severe thunderstorm warning. Michigan's cooked. No, you guys are fine. Let's see. We have still baseball size hail near Arath, Texas. Comanche, Texas. Comanche. I'm going to say it wrong. Still pretty general severe thunderstorm warnings everywhere else. These guys are driving into this thing hoping to drop something. Ooh, he's good. He's trying to find it. You'll see a tornado in that flash if they get enough rotation there. They are just to the south. Well, not just, pretty decently to the south of Oklahoma City. Comanche. I knew that. That's how I said it. Wasn't that? That's how I was saying it, right, guys? Comanche, like Banshee. Got it. This is Radar Omega. Springfield, Ohio. You guys are going to have a QLCS setup. So, oops, that's Springfield, Missouri. You guys are going to have a QLCS setup up here in Springfield, Ohio. Maybe you see some discrete cells out ahead. Maybe, but your biggest threat out here is your hatched hail and wind. So you could see 75 plus mile per hour gust and over baseball size hail up here in Springfield, Ohio tomorrow night. Right now it looks like around 11 p.m. Don't take that. It could be a couple hours earlier or later. These storms do weird things with their speeds as they're moving. So, could you get a tornado up there? Yes, but the wind and hail looks to be your biggest threat up there tomorrow night. No problem, Nat. Yeah, Dallas Fort Worth. Well, you have some bad weather moving in now. This is you have that baseball size hail down to your southwest. These storms are just firing up, so this is going to get more interesting as the night goes on, I think. Let's go back to our reflectivity. We got to get you some more viewers, Phyllis. I appreciate that over on YouTube. Are there going to be any Long Island tornadoes? Kimmy, I don't think so. It's not impossible to get a little spin up, though, tomorrow. Or, sorry, on Monday on Long Island. It's not impossible, to, with the Connors hijacking satellites. Yeah. It's not impossible with the setup we have to get some spin ups on Monday in Long Island. It's not super likely, but there'll be a little bit of severe weather up there. Cincinnati, Ohio for tomorrow. Cincinnati, again, your biggest threat is damaging wind and hail. It is not out of the question having a strong tornado in that region. It's less likely. We're really watching this area for those really strong tornadoes. It's not impossible to get some up to the north, but it looks like you're going to be in more of a squall line setup as it gets out to Cincinnati, but we'll have to see. Have weather alerts tomorrow night. What's going on, Robert? Bentonville, Arkansas. Arkansas. Let's look at our HRRR for you tonight. We'll see what this does around 5 a.m. in the morning. And then you're in the clear. It's not looking too bad. You guys are in this 15% for hail. Eastern Arkansas looks sketchy tomorrow. Western Arkansas isn't looking as terrible, but tonight we'll have to really pay attention to what's going on with these. Tornado threat looks to be to your west, too, though, in Western Arkansas. So I think you're probably safe on that. Another Spirit Thunderstorm warning up here just to the southeast of St. Joseph, Missouri. Like, is that Kansas or Missouri? I knew that. They're staring down the pipe of this thunderstorm.
Well, somewhat keeping the storm in one of my camera angle views.
Yeah, I'm
How's the storm in Texas looking? Still baseball hot. Still baseball size and tornado possible. So it is saying tornado possible. They have it as a destructive storm. Let's take another look at and see if we have rotation in here. There's a little bit of a funnel cloud, I think, there is rotation in the clouds here. You can see it. So we got to watch this. You know, it's funny, not funny, but the MPAS saw something down here, a tornado down here. The other models didn't. That's what I was saying. Sometimes the MPAS models see some things that the others don't. The MPAS saw this. It's a big hail course still there. Our Tuesday. What would our Tuesday be? Day. I don't think it's day 5. I think it's day 4. A little 15% up here. We'll see if this this might get upgraded though. Sorry guys. That might get upgraded. Can you show me Atlanta around 3? What, 3 tomorrow, Caroline? Oh, we don't want that Savannah Banana game getting severe weathered out. No, you guys could have some rain out there tomorrow, but not severe weather. Here, let's check it out. Another severe thunderstorm warning down here, right to the southwest of Claiborne. Lime-size hail, considerable damage threat. Atlanta around 3 p.m. tomorrow. There's going to be isolated thunderstorms in and around the area. I mean, if you were to take the HRRR at its heart, at its word, we don't really see anything moving in until 4 or 5 p.m., but you could see some thunderstorms moving in around that time of the game. Which is an issue because you know those could produce lightning, and I know they're going to cancel. They'll cancel games for lightning, or delay at least for a while. The damaging wind threat. I forget we were talking about what was it up here in Bentonville, Arkansas. You do have that hatch wind threat tonight, so. Strong hurricane force, 75 plus mile per hour gusts are possible in that region tonight. So that probably is your biggest threat. Anything bad? McKinney, Texas. And should I sleep in the shelter? We're not expecting super strong tornadoes down here tonight. We're expecting some gusty conditions, some very gusty conditions, and some hail for some areas. It's not out of the question you could get a tornado in here, but it's just a very strong one. Isn't looking super likely, but I don't want to tell you to or not to, you know. Could any severe weather be seen in southern Ontario this weekend or Wednesday? We could see some gusty conditions and hail possible down here in that region. We could. Yeah. EF1, EF0 is not out of the question either. Baby, what's going on? I appreciate you. Woo. Why is my brother calling me? Rather you're on speaker and I'm on stream. Don't say anything incriminating.
Okay, no, I was going to see if you want to play some of that Storm Chaser game. I'm kind of in the mood.
Well, we've got a potential severe weather outbreak right now in south central region.
You gotta do your stream.
Yeah. Silly Goose, thanks for the follow.
I was thinking, I haven't played it in a while.
Quinn said that's the best hockey TikToker right there. Yes.
Yep.
Icy plays HQ. ICY plays HQ. Don't follow. All right. Love you, Ryan.
Hi, peace.
Peace. Anything with Tip City, Ohio? Where are you guys? Yeah, I mean, tomorrow evening I would say, what's our timing with this out here again? What's our timing with this out here for you guys in southwestern Ohio? What is our timing? As it looks now. 5 to 7 p.m. tomorrow. Large hails, destructive winds are possible through that region. So I'd be aware of that. You've got your first event here and then maybe a second event right there too. So, I mean, this could be a 6 p.m. to, this could be a 6 p.m. to midnight type of system just because of the direction it's moving. This thing could tail over southwestern Ohio. It could. Let's check our alerts. Still destructive baseball size hail near Comanche, Texas, and Erath. Almost 2-inch hail near Stevens, Oklahoma, Garvin, Oklahoma, Grady, Oklahoma, Canadian, Oklahoma, Cleveland, Oklahoma, McLean, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma, Oklahoma. Is there really an Oklahoma, Oklahoma? Interesting. 2-inch hail also down there near Somerville, Texas. Comanche, Bosque, Arath, Hamilton. Another severe thunderstorm warning just to the south of Oklahoma City. Quarter-size hail, 50-mile-per-hour gusts possible. What's day 2 looking like? Day 2 is looking like this. Large enhance. I expect this to go moderate. I've been saying I don't know if it'll go moderate, but I think the SBC will put it moderate. So, but very large slight. Very large slight, obviously, for everyone. And then a very large enhanced as well. Denton. We about to get rocked. I mean, quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. We'll see if that thing develops more. This one down here. Look, I think you guys will be fine in Denton with that. It won't be the most fun thing, but I think you guys will be all right. Ash, what's going on? Louisville tomorrow? Yeah, you know, I was just talking on the phone with Matt about that. Let me just turn this off for a second so we can see what's going on around the country. And let me turn this off as well. We're going to have what we call a discrete setup through here for a while. And that means we're going to have discrete cells. These are cells. This is where you can get supercells because they're not sharing energy with, they're their own storm. And so they'll have nice natural inflow and they'll not be sharing any of that instability ingredients with any other storms. And those have the chance to put down big tornadoes. So we don't like a discrete setup. The question is, how long do we see that discrete setup, that popcorn thunderstorm type setup before our squall line consolidates? We'll shrink this a little bit. I don't know why I have this. Let me make this bigger for you guys. So, you know, if this thing consolidates before it gets into Louisville, that's gonna lower your potential for significant tornadoes, for SIGTORs. If it doesn't, we still have a discrete setup moving through central Kentucky. We'll have a more dangerous tornado setup for you guys out there, and a more dangerous potentially wind and hail setup as well. Well, hail, maybe not wind. Squall lines could produce some strong winds. Wichita or Augusta, Kansas? You guys got some thunderstorms just out to your southwest. Pay attention tonight. Your severe yeah, I mean, you can see all these thunderstorm warnings to your southwest or to your southwest. 1, 2, 3. And we've got something else igniting right out here to your southwest. So I'd pay attention over the next couple hours because we've got storms. Some okay looking storms with some decent sized hail forming out down here to the south and southwest of you. So, but if you make it, you know, if you get through the next hour, 2 hours with not much happening, which a lot of people won't see a ton of severe weather out here. I mean, these are isolated events. Then you're looking good. Yeah, Joplin, here, let me turn back on our day 1 wind. So Joplin is in this hatched wind zone. So this is a 30% hatched wind zone. So you could see, very strong wind gusts tonight, potentially, if you have a storm move over your area. This is going to be an isolated conditional type of event. But, the possibility of 75 plus mile per hour gusts with some of these storms are possible. I mean, could happen in this region. It depends where they move. Let's look at our HRRR again here. Around Joplin. So this is actually gonna, this thing wants to really consolidate around here. So this is when you can get a derecho type of event, which is probably why they have a hatched here. So, with this look, you guys are probably inevitably gonna get some high winds. The question is, how gusty does this get? They have you in a hatch zone. Timing for that looks close to, we'll say between 2 and 4 a.m. We'll say 3 a.m. It looks like it's gonna go downhill. Give or take an hour. Again, these things never move at the same pace, at the same rate. So, very early in the morning. Let me look at the hail here again for you. Yeah, they moved that hatch tail out here, so that's good. And they still have it down here in Dallas-Fort Worth. And then out to the southwest. West Virginia. West Virginia. You guys are in a slight tomorrow. I think if we get it enhanced, it's going to be down to the southwest or down in the southeast. You guys could see some QLCS EF1, EF0 tornadoes in West Virginia. It's not super likely. Sometimes the mountains disrupt that rotation a lot, disrupt these thunderstorms. Not expecting anything overly severe in West Virginia. I would say, though, tomorrow morning or Monday morning, Monday afternoon, you'll probably want to have weather alerts on because we do have a massive slight risk, a categorical risk out there east, including West Virginia. Another severe thunderstorm warning. They keep popping up. This one's going through Canton, Oklahoma. Canton, Oklahoma. We still got that 2-inch hail. Right down here. Right down here, just to the southwest of Claiborne, southwest of Fort Worth. I'm in Joplin and play at 9 a.m. How's it looking? I think everything's going to be out by then. I think you'll be in the clear. Yeah, I mean, there wants to be some trailing thunderstorms, but everything's kind of leaving the area right around 9 a.m. So hopefully, there's some trailing thunderstorms, but the worst is all off to your east at that time. So hopefully that holds. Yeah, I talked about Sellersburg earlier. It depends if we still have a discrete cell setup or we have a squall line out here. Either way, large hail and strong winds are probable for areas of southern Indiana. Tornadoes, I would say at least a tornado down there around this area is probable as well. Do we get a SIG tour is the question out there near Louisville. It depends how much rainfall you get on earlier in the day, and then if we hold that discrete setup. So, worst case scenario looks pretty bad, but you don't know. We don't know that we're going to get a worst case scenario out here. And in a worst case scenario, again, it's not like there's, when we see, like I said earlier, when we see these big hazard zones, not everyone's going to see severe weather or tornado or hail or even strong winds. Most people will see the strong winds because as soon as that squall line consolidates and you just get this wind boundary moving with the squall line, but a lot of people won't see hail or tornadoes. So, again, this upcoming Wednesday to Friday event looks a little bit more significant than tomorrow, but I am concerned with this region for tornadoes tomorrow. And again, strong hail and wind is a possibility through this whole region. Driving from Clarksville, Tennessee to St. Louis early tomorrow morning. You should probably try to get there before 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I would leave at like, what? How long is that drive? I'd try to get there. I'd try to get to St. Louis before 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, no problem. Will you stay up with most of the storms in Oklahoma? I'm tired. Listen, when I get off, Mezzo Matt is probably going to stay up through this event tonight. He MESOMATT Mesomat. He'll probably be live streaming through this tonight. We're not seeing anything crazy right now. We still have some time for this to intensify, so we'll have to wait and see. I got to get up with my son whenever he decides to wake me up tomorrow. Could be 5:30 a.m. Maybe he'll let me sleep until 7:30 a.m. Sometimes he's feeling really generous and lets me sleep until 7:30. Super kind of him. But yeah. I don't get to sleep in. Let's see here. Wednesday to Friday does look crazy, Luke. I agree. Was 80 degrees today in Maryland. It was amazing. Yeah. Same. I live near Philly. Same. It was great. I was in the backyard doing stuff. Is Nashville looking dangerous tomorrow? Nashville's looking like you want to have weather alerts on tomorrow. The worst of the weather looks to be just to the west of Nashville, but it's gonna be a close call. These severe the most significant severe threat zones sometimes shift east, shift west, shift north, shift south. Nashville is expected to have, at least the Nashville region could definitely see some strong hail and winds regardless of if we see a tornado in the area or not. Which it's more likely than not we won't, but have weather alerts on. But not till 10 p.m. in Nashville. Is that what we're talking about? It's hard for me to remember timing in every single area, so I have to remind myself a lot. I can't. We know it's tomorrow night out here. Nashville, it's looking like the worst wants to move through around potentially midnight, actually, for Nashville. It could be as early as 11, though. Yeah, could be as early as 11. We'll see. Looking like 10 p.m. in Nashville. Yeah, right now. It's looking like 1 a.m. Kentucky. Someone just said Kentucky. Kentucky's a big state. Let's check our weather alerts again. Let's make sure nothing new. Nothing too new out here. Nothing too new out here. Still watching all these thunderstorms firing up in Texas, Oklahoma. You got some severe thunderstorms all the way up here as well. Just to the north of Kansas, or up to the north of Kansas City in Missouri. Any tornadoes producing out of these storms? We definitely saw a funnel cloud down here to the southwest of Fort Worth. It was hard to tell if it had a tornado on the ground, though. There was a lot of rotation in that cloud. Huntsville, Alabama is going to be really early in the morning. Pretty early in the morning. Monday morning. We're going to have a good squall line moving through. Hail and wind's going to be your biggest issue. Could see a QLCS, though, Monday morning out there as well, somewhere in Alabama. Or a couple. Some weaker tornadoes. It's possible, definitely. It is definitely possible. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Severe thunderstorm warning just to the north of Fort Worth. $half size hail. Let's look at this reflectivity. This looks interesting too. This storm that's about to move through Oklahoma City. Hold up, guys. Yeah, these are starting to look interesting down here. 1 second. 1 second, chat. 1 second, chat. Oh, 1 second, chat. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm almost done. Would you say this is a better setup than it was 2-3 weeks ago for Huntersville, Alabama? Better, or what do you mean by better? Like a more severe setup? I think it was more severe. We've had more severe than this year for Huntersville. This is radar. This is Radar Omega. Updated video tomorrow about possible icing in Northern Plains. Yeah, we can talk about that. Let's look at our HRRR ice model real quick. Let's see this. Freezing rain. Northern Wisconsin, UP of Michigan. These are the dangerous looking areas. Maybe we'll see what happens out here. Yeah, Radar Mag is pretty good. Gets the job done. Ohio looking okay for the night. For tonight, yes. Tomorrow night, you're going to want to have a way to get alerts, and you're going to want to be paying attention. Heading to Topgolf. See you tomorrow, brother. Yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good time. Oh, any tornadoes tonight in Texas? You know, we've seen some funnel clouds down here. We saw some rotation in the cloud down here, so I'm not going to count it out. Wasn't looking like we were going to get any down here. It's possible, but we're not expecting like a major tornado outbreak down here. If we see tornadoes down in Texas tonight, it's probably only going to be a couple. Another severe thunderstorm warning right up here. Headed up towards Palm Creek, Oklahoma. Oconee, Ringwood, Lahoma, Oklahoma. These things are popping up all over the place. Just, okay, to the south, southeast of Kansas City. Severe thunderstorm warning. Harrisonville, moving out to the east-northeast. Could you look at Fort Wayne, Indiana for Wednesday? Would you have any opinions on it? I think we need to wait. I think we need to wait a little bit. I'll talk to... we're watching. How far? Fort Wayne's up to the north. Wednesday looks very similar. It almost looks like very similar to tomorrow's setup. But I think next Wednesday has there's a chance we even get a high on Wednesday if the models continue to look how they do. It's a big if. Wouldn't be out of the question to get a big moderate from that as well, though. So we'll see. It was 2 weekends ago. They said we were at a very rare 5 out of 5. What level is tomorrow's setup? Tomorrow has the potential to go to 4 out of 5 in here. Yeah. The funny thing is though, we were in a moderate the day before the 5 out of 5, and the moderate actually put down more tornadoes and more destructive tornadoes. There were a bunch through Missouri and Arkansas. The high threat was down here, and it actually underperformed. So our moderate, our 4 out of 5 day ended up being worse, having more and worse tornadoes than our 5 out of 5 high threat did with that system. Sometimes that's just how it works. So you should take these all, that's why I say just because you're not in the most dangerous looking area, you still want to pay attention. You still want to stay up to date. The weather's gonna do its own thing sometimes. Will Monday upgrade to an enhanced risk? I do think we'll probably get an enhanced risk down here. I do think so. Maybe bigger than that. Yes, 10:30. Yeah. We're going to have storms moving through Tennessee tomorrow night. From western to eastern. Probably eastern Tennessee is going to be more like tomorrow morning out towards Knoxville. Or Monday morning towards Knoxville. No problem, Bob. Yeah, I used a paid version of Radar Omega, yeah. Remember being on and there was nothing. Now, hours later, they're all starting up. Weather's weird, yeah. A little bit more instability in the area. Do you think Central Ohio will get issued a severe thunderstorm watch or tornado watch? You'll probably, for a period of time, have tornado watches in Ohio tomorrow, yeah. Severe thunderstorm warnings are likely in Ohio tomorrow night. Tallahassee sounding on Monday? Sure, 1 second. I'm doing it off on my other screen. I'm actually interested in that. One second. Let's see. All right, let's see if we have any decent sounding in Tallahassee Monday. Um, 2.0 effective layer Sigtor Pram, not bad. 2300 joules per kilogram cape, not bad. Directional shear is not impressive, but I mean, hey, Sigtor potential, light Sigtor potential down there, Tallahassee. Monday morning into Monday afternoon. Where was that one? Let's take a look at our watches or our warnings. 2.5-inch hail. Grady, Oklahoma, Canadian, Oklahoma, Cleveland, Oklahoma, McLean, Oklahoma. If you're in and around that area, there's some pretty big hail there. 2-inch hail, Somerville, Texas. Bosque, Texas. Arath, Hamilton, and Comanche, Texas. Still in and around that area. No tornadoes right now. Nothing's looking too crazy. Any rotation for Oklahoma? Yeah, not right now. Not right now. It's a pretty pathetic looking storms, which is good. We love that. Not much The most there's I see the most rotation down in Texas, or at least the most shear down in Texas, which is interesting. So, but there's not much going on with this. This is a good thing. I feel like I need a stretch, chat. Can I do a stretch real quick? Do you have an opinion on all the different Weather Channel TikTok pages that have been popping up? This has been a thing for years. Not just on, I mean, I guess TikTok it's more relevant, but, or it's more, you could see it more, but, you know, this TikTok was created specifically for weather. That's why it's called Connor's Climate Corner, and it's the only thing I cover. You see some pages when there's like a hurricane or a blizzard or a severe tornado outbreak, they suddenly become weather pages, and they suddenly become weather, meteorologists or weather enthusiasts. And I would say those. And I would say those are the ones you might want to be cautious about, because people who are only talking about weather when it's very bad looking and dangerous, and they don't care to cover weather at all on if it's not going to get them views or clicks, they probably have no idea what they're talking about, and they're not in it for the right reasons. Listen, I stream plenty of nights when nothing's happening, and it's very boring, but I love weather. I've been studying it for a long time. And it's my passion, so that's what I do. And that's all I care about. Nah, I like my wife and my son, too. I care about them, too. Appreciate the follow, Miss Peaches. Do you think this was an overhyped system, or do you think it will get bad? I don't think it was overhyped. This has always been tonight. Has always been 1 second. Another severe thunderstorm warning. Lime-sized hail. This is all just a hail issue right now, with some gusty winds in these as well. Tomorrow is not as conditional of a setup. This has always been a conditional setup tonight. I've been saying it. There's going to be an issue with some of the cap breaking. There's going to be an issue. Our low level jet isn't really cranking that much through here, especially not even less that it's going to be pumping tomorrow through south central, deep south Tennessee Valley, through the Ohio Valley, Midwest. There was always potential. When I say conditional, that means you're either going to see an overperformance or an underperformance, and it's super hard to tell because you have the ingredients, but are they timed right? Is the cap going to break? This was when you hear meteorologists talking about conditional days, they're days where you're like, it's a big if. It's a big if. You have the cape, but like I said, does that cap break? What's the timing? Like, this was never a guarantee that we were going to see anything, but we knew, and there still is the potential to get a strong tornado out of this, or a couple. There is still the potential for some pretty severe weather out of this. It's looking a little pathetic right now, but tomorrow's event is more of a guarantee. It's not as much of a conditional day. We have a pocket in here where everything's looks to come together at least somewhat around the right time. This is a little bit of an off balance type of setup here. Yes. Yeah, I would say DFW hail is possible. And yeah, F0, F1, yeah. All right. Ping pong ball. There's just tons of hail out here in gusty conditions right now. Let's take a quick look in here and see. I mean, we could see this is kind of a funnel cloud looking setup right here. That's going to be moving off east through Pauls Valley and then up to the north of Stratford, Oklahoma. Let's take a look down here near Fort Worth. This is kind of a funnel cloud looking setup in here too. That's moving up to the northeast towards Sherman, Texas, just to the south of Gainesville, Texas. over Sanger, Texas. Some decent velocities down here as well. You've got some rotation in the clouds here, moving out to the east towards Walnut Springs, Texas. None of these look like big tornadoes on the ground. 1 second. Let's see here. Appreciate it, Cruz. What's going on, baby? Here we go. Look at this, though. This thing looks like it have some very strong winds associated with that right there. Weatherford, Oklahoma. Canton all the way down through Weatherford, down towards Mountain View, Oklahoma. This thing's packing some strong winds and hail for sure. The way this is developing up here, makes me think this thing could spit out a tornado. This one right here. I think this one could. The angle that it's developing at. We could get some notches. Some good inflow in here, and we could get something that could spin up here. Around Paul's Valley. B. I appreciate you. I need to stop slouching. Santi, hi. Ezekiel, appreciate the follow. Can you check the lapse rates on Monday? Where, Eden? Yeah, the HRRR is fine for lapse rates. I mean, lapse rates. It's so weird to say it like that. Why is that a tongue twist for me? Lapse rates. Because I want to say lapse rate. It's weird saying lapse rates with an S at the end of rates as well. That's what's throwing me off. Are you talking about? You said for Monday, so for out east. Let me check. Let me check in on Pivotal Weather real quick. One second. One second. Oops. Is that the 00Z? Let's see. They're not that impressive. They look pretty good down in Georgia, Mississippi, and the Panhandle of Florida. But they're not that impressive anywhere else for Monday. Worried about Middle Tennessee on Sunday? Again, wind and hail is your biggest threat. Most tornadoes look to, the biggest tornado threat looks to stay out to your west. I'd pay attention though, because that could change. No need to worry. Stay weather alert. You'll be just fine. 99.9% of people who are in the path of severe weather aren't actually gonna see really any significant damage, or rarely ever gonna see a tornado. So no need to worry. Just stay weather alert. Have a plan, and you'll be good. Plenty of people will be covering it. You'll know what's where if you're just paying attention. You'll be all good. Corey, I appreciate it. Tanner, I appreciate it. Lil Sards with the 20 roses. Thanks, dude. Hail event OKC. Aurora, Illinois, Sunday. We'll take a look at that. Yeah. Ping pong ball size hail. Falling in western Metro Oklahoma City right now. It is. Nothing wild going on. Although, let's go to Aurora, Illinois. Where are you in Illinois? Okay, you guys could get some severe thunderstorms up there. I would say the hail, wind, tornado threat looks to stay central Illinois and south. I'd pay attention tomorrow. I mean, our timing for potential severe weather up there In Chicago, looks to be around. Let's take a look. Oh my God, I'm on my freezing rain right now. There we go. Let's take a look for Chicago. Some annoying thunderstorms going to be moving through tomorrow, 11 a.m., 12, 1. That could be your big event. If you're going to get something severe, though, it might be closer to 3. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, you can see where where the worst of this wants to come through down here to the south of Chicago. You guys aren't looking too bad. Corey, first gift. I appreciate that. Detroit tomorrow. Wind and hail is an issue. Not a major issue. You could see an EFC or EF1 up there in Detroit, but a lot of this the worst of it looks to be to your south. You could get some strong winds with these squall lines moving through up there, though. That could be some decent wind. F5 tornado Monday in La Plata, Maryland. Watch same system, gave us one in 2003. Rizzy, if there's an F5 tornado in Maryland on Monday, I will delete my TikTok. All right. Yeah. Not with this setup. I mean, it's not impossible, but this is a straight QLCS setup. You get an F5 out of a QLCS. The whole state would be flattened. No. Main threats for Indianapolis. Wind and hail. Thing is, you're really close. Some models do want to give you guys some SIG-TOR potential. There's some SIG-TOR potential just to your south in Indianapolis, so there's a slight tornado risk in Indianapolis as well. That you should pay attention to. Noah, I appreciate you, Noah, and the Dolphin Symphony. Noah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Bob, I appreciate it too. You take care as well. Troy, Illinois. Let's see. Troy, Illinois. I would say this is a little, again, I mean, you're kind of where St. Louis is, where a lot of the worst weather is wants to be firing up. So you guys are just outside of this severe threat tonight. And things look to go downhill for you guys tomorrow around 3, 4, 5 p.m. We could see some hail, a tornado, strong winds out of this. The bigger concern is out to your east, luckily for you, although this is something to pay attention to in the afternoon hours, into the early evening hours. Down there in and around St. Louis and Troy, Illinois. Oops. There's your North Carolina timing. Squall line begins to move into western North Carolina. Afternoon hours, and then wants to head off the coast late into the night. So this is really going to be an afternoon. Let's call it a 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. type of event for most of North Carolina. Decent size hail, 60 plus mile per hour gusty winds, and not impossible to see a tornado or two in North Carolina. Not expected to be major or significant, but you can't completely rule it out. But again, these are, you typically don't see the big, scary monster tornadoes in a squall line type setup. Marley, I appreciate you. Thank you, Marley. 169 roses from Noah. Thank you, Noah. And Thank you. You think tornadoes for Western Kentucky? Yes. I do think Western Kentucky is definitely an area I'm concerned about. Yes. The Western Kentucky is an area we think could go moderate tomorrow. So, stay updated on that for sure if you're in Western Kentucky. That's one of our kind of bullseye areas where we're watching for potential long track sig tours. Tornadoes for Columbus, Ohio are possible. They're probably a little bit weaker tomorrow if you had them. Timing for Indianapolis? I think I went over this. I think I went over this earlier. Let's see. Three, 4 p.m. You could get some very strong thunderstorms moving in, and then you could have another second round of them at around 7, 8 p.m. But yeah, possibly as early, or let's say 2 to 5 p.m. you could see some strong thunderstorms moving through. They were right about this hail down here. They were right about that. Not much still going on with these systems, though. Presley, I appreciate the follow. Wait, no significant rotation in Oklahoma right now. Yeah, we could see a decent snow event out in Minnesota on Wednesday too. St. Louis unpredictable. I know. St. Louis is in a weird spot because you're in this transition period between the severe weather tonight and the severe weather tomorrow. Very weird spot with this setup. How's Northwest Illinois look? Pretty safe. You're probably gonna get some thunderstorms. I don't think you're gonna get anything too severe though. It's not impossible, but a lot of this stuff wants to stay central and southern Illinois, especially southeastern Illinois. So the opposite of northwestern. Can you work on an outside project? There's gonna be some moisture up there in northwestern Illinois. I wouldn't suggest that. I mean, you're gonna get rained on, especially in the early morning hours. I mean, this is gonna be a little bit of a messy setup. 11 a.m., maybe 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. up there in northwestern Illinois. I'm falling asleep, so I'm off to bed. Night confused blonde. I might get off here in a second too. We've got big hail and some gusty winds with these storms down here. Not impossible to see a tornado or two produced. Probably up here in Oklahoma. Tomorrow's going to be a long day, and I might be on late tomorrow depending on how bad the severe situation is out here. So I want to get my rest. I definitely want to get my rest. I'm going to answer a few more questions though. I'm going to go through chat really quickly, answer questions, and then of course I'm going to post another update tomorrow and be back on live tomorrow. Let's see. How's the weather going to be traveling from Louisville, Kentucky to Destin, Florida, 3 a.m. Monday morning? Well, I think a lot of that stuff should be out to your east. That's a good question. 3 a.m. It's interesting timing. You'll probably be good. You know, when you leave, you should be good. You might drive south into some of this weather. It looks like it's not bad timing. It depends what route you take, though, because you're going to be driving down right behind the squall line. If you take that timing. Will we have tornadoes for Mississippi? It is definitely a possibility to have tornadoes in Mississippi tomorrow. Not expecting necessarily. I mean, we're worried about northern Mississippi potentially seeing SIGTORs. EF2 plus. Central to southern Mississippi, you could see tornadoes. They'd probably be much weaker. EF0, EF1. We're not expecting a major tornado outbreak. Central and southern Mississippi, but you know what I mean. Or really anywhere in Mississippi, but some SIGTORs in northern Mississippi are possible tomorrow. Southeastern Missouri, we're worried about a little bit, especially this area right here. Yes. Timing of that. Let's call it 5 to 8 p.m., 5 to 9 p.m. I'd be paying attention tomorrow and have weather alerts on. You guys are also in that area that could go moderate tomorrow. Springfield, Missouri is going to have to, you guys are in that hatched wind risk tonight. So overnight, you could see some 75 plus mile per hour gusts push through portions of southwestern Missouri. That looks to be the biggest threat for you guys. But then you look to be much better on Sunday. Will we have tornadoes in central Kentucky tomorrow? Not impossible to get some QLCS squall line tornadoes in central Kentucky tomorrow. I think the discrete setup will be gone once we pass Louisville. So the dangerous tornadoes will be off to your west. But we could get some tornadoes in central Kentucky. Will Memphis be okay tomorrow? Memphis is in another area that we're really watching closely. You guys could go moderate. That's another area you really have to be weather alert tomorrow. Understand what's going on. Should be fine. But yeah, that's want to be paying attention. Want to pay attention. Should be perfectly fine though. Country chicken, no problem. All right, I am yawning too much. I need to get off. I'm going to be posting updates tomorrow, of course, on this stuff. And I'm going to try to do a longer stream tomorrow night while the most significant part of the severe weather is going on. I appreciate all you. Appreciate anyone who followed, sub, gifted. Again, just hung out in chat. Hung out in here. I post every day. I try to stream every night. And, yeah. Hopefully one day I'll be doing this full time, so that I won't be exhausted all the time, because usually I'm exhausted after working all day and doing this, but my son just exhausts me on the weekend. Little 2-year-old boy, that'll do it to you, chasing him around all day. I appreciate you guys being in here. Like I said, I'll be posting tomorrow. I'll be back on tomorrow. Everyone stay safe tonight. We've got a lot of hail and some gusty conditions out here. Nothing looking crazy severe at the moment, and it's already kind of been not as impressive as we thought it could be. We always knew this could be either way. This is a conditional setup, so let's hope we maintain that, and we're safe here tonight. But have your weather alerts on tonight if you're in this area right now. Have your weather alerts on, and tomorrow will be interesting, and we'll talk about it. That's up there just to the west of Cedarville, Kansas. Just average, normal, severe thunderstorm warning. I appreciate all you. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Yep.